Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin if you're new here, and every single month I like to do a debt check-in. I like to do it on the first Wednesday of every month, but this month, these past 2 months were so crazy. Coming off of the wedding, coming off of a big work event that I had, and then I'm doing another work event like this week, or it's just, it's a lot, guys. But I didn't want to not do this because we have actually made some really good progress on our debt. And I wanted to share with you guys just because I wanted to kind of give you an update on what we've been doing, so that way you can kind of like see the progress we've made, but also be like, oh, well, maybe I could try that too, or something like that. So we have currently 8 debts. That's what we have right now. But some of these I feel like are going to go away very soon, which is exciting. So, okay. And what I like to do here, by the way, if you're new to this series, usually what I do is I will say what the debt is, and then I will be honest what the amount is. I say what I pay every month, and that way you can kind of see, like, it's not like I don't just have like this small little credit card that's got like $200 on it and like, ooh, I paid it off. Like, no, I have a 14,000 student loan, or I have a 10,000 credit card, stuff like that. Like I'm fully transparent with what I owe to things, just because I feel like money can be so uncomfortable to talk about. Sometimes I struggled with talking about money for years, and I still have moments where like I get uncomfortable. But ever since I started doing like cash budgeting and really looking at things like this way, and have been able to get ahead on things for like the first time in my life, money's like not as scary. Like, it still stresses me out from time to time, but this has gotten better. So I just want you to know that like I'm super transparent with everything I share on here. I want you to feel like this is like your safe space to share too. If you want, you can share as much as you want in the comments. I always love to hear, like, in the comments below, if you want to share a debt you're working on. You can share what it is, like my credit card. And if you want to share an amount and put it out there, go for it. Like, whatever you want to do, I just want to support you in your journey as well. So let's get into it. I have my computer here. So the first debt is my Capital One credit card. And I have not made my payment for April yet. That comes out in about a week or so. That's when I'll pay that. Payment's $125. This is a credit card that went to collections because of what happened to me during COVID when I lost my job and could not get in touch with Capital One. Fun fact, I don't like them. I really don't like them. I don't know if you could convince me to ever get a credit card from Capital One again. They're not great. That balance now is $7,269.32. The last time I checked this, it was $7,394. So, or something like that. So that is where we're at. So not too bad. It's getting there. This one's kind of one of my last priorities, just because it's that, if you've ever seen like the snowball or avalanche method from like Dave Ramsey, I like to get financial information from like a lot of different sources. And that was one place that like, I right now what we're doing is working on some of the smaller debts first. So it feels like you've kind of accomplished more, and then working on the big one. So that's like the snowball effect, versus if you start with the really biggest one, then it's like the avalanche. So we like the snowball method. It's a little more rewarding. So the next one is my other credit card that I have. This is Discover. This one, if I, pick between the two on which ones I'm paying off first, it's going to be this one. I also hate this one because this one, I've shared on here, if you guys have seen my series, where like it just will... It almost like no matter what I would ever do, I'm just throwing money away every single month. I can never make progress on this account. The interest is astronomical, and it's just stupid. So the balance right now is $4,827.67. Just for record, I'm pretty sure this credit card is like $5,500. I've been in that range for I think like 4 years. Or no, like 2 years, because that's when all this happened and the account got closed. Because again, a post-COVID kind of thing. So I've been stuck here, and it's been horrible. I hate throwing that money away every single month. So as soon as we get some of these other smaller ones done, I'm tackling that one because I hate it with a fiery passion. The next one is my student loan. A lot of us have those. This one stands currently at $14,670.19. This one, when I had to log into like all my different accounts to kind of pull up the balances to update this spreadsheet before this. And I saw, because like you can view your activity, payment history on any of these, right? Any of your accounts. And I saw, I never really looked at what I was actually paying on the principal and how much went to interest. So that was kind of a like helpful thing to see. Because I feel like in certain things, I automatically know how much is being paid to principal and how much is being paid to interest. I always kind of knew that on like my car loan that I had. But before I paid that off, I was always putting like so many extra dollars. I was like rounding out the amount so that way it always was like an even number and putting extra towards the principal. And I always was able to see like, oh, this is how much is going towards this, and this is how much is going towards interest. I never actually looked at that for my student loan. So my payment every month is like $206 or $201. I think it like fluctuates there. But the last one was $206.15. And I don't know why, but that one, I think it's because I had my student loan paused last year because of financial stuff. And so I think it was catching me up on some of the interest that I paid because I'd only put $6 towards the principal and like $199 towards interest. And I was like, fudge. Like, I was like, you're joking. I was so mad. Like, wow, I made a $6 progress. Kind of mad, but I'm also like, well, if it pays off something, that's all that matters. And I saw on the other ones, most of my interest or principal that I was paying was like $133 to $140, and then like $45 or something is it always been interest. So that was still a good visual to be like, okay, well, now I have a good idea of like how much progress I'm actually making every single month with that interest that's being accrued. So it was helpful. It's still kind of frustrating, but it was helpful to see. The next one, really happy about this one. This is our mattress loan that we got. Currently, our balance is $1,280.57. This one started at like $3,000. So we are finally under the over halfway mark. I think I said that right. Over, under, whatever. You know what I meant. We have less than half already due, which is exciting. This is one. In March, I started doing a slightly higher payment. Our monthly payment minimum is $66. I switched this to be $75. The next one I'm going to share about, I also slightly increased just because we had paid off or we had made progress on something. So I was like, all right, let's start adding a couple extra dollars to these things because a couple extra dollars at a time just helps. And I was kind of rounding it out to be an even number in the sense, not like even number like 246, but like instead of 66, a 75. Like kind of like even in that sense, you know what I mean? So that's been making progress. And that's the one that once we pay off what I'm going to share about shortly, which we're super close on, that's my next target. We're trying to do a balance of like paying off something of my husband's and then mine and kind of like back and forth in these smaller ones until we can work our way up to the bigger ones, which obviously the student loan is solely me, but my Capital One credit card, that one is kind of an accumulation of both of our efforts over the past years when we were first early on together when we weren't making kind of the best financial choices. So, and we've all done it. We've all done it. So the next one is Diesel, which is my dog. He's actually laying on the bed behind you. I don't know if you could, oh no, you can't see. Oh, he's adorable. Check out my other channel. I've shared about this before. My Sparkles and Sunshine blog pet channel. Check that out. He's all over that if you want to see his adorable, extra large brindle self. My dog had TPLO surgery back in 2023. Yeah, it's been 2 years now. Wow. And so his monthly payment is usually $127.97. In March, I upped that to be $135. So just a couple extra dollars, evening it out, you know, again, a little bit more to start making some progress there. And we just made our payment for April. So our balance is $3,481.78. This loan started at $5,000. So you can see in a span of 2 years, we've only made a dent of like almost $1,600. So that's, if you think about how much we've done, it's the interest that really kind of kills us. It is a bank loan. So that's another one that's going to be kind of up on the chopping block. That'll be probably his next debt that we work on. The first one that we're working on is this next one, which is his regular credit card that closed because honestly, he forgot to call and get a new card. And so they closed it. And so we've just been paying off and something we've been doing the minimum payment for a long time, which was like $40. And it really gets you nowhere on a balance of $1,700 because basically the interest charge was always like half that. So imagine just throwing away like $40 to $50 every month to be basically only paying a $10 to $20 payment. It sucks and you get nowhere on that large of a balance. So what we've been doing, if you've seen any of my cash planning or cash stuffing videos, that is the balance after I've been putting major payments on this. Because this year we are doing better financially than last year. It's been very, very nice. I'm really hoping it stays this way. We've been working really hard. And I've been doing like very, very large payments. So like in March, I actually did a $700 payment. In April, I did a $400 payment. I just did that. And when I get my next check, we have $522.48. I'm hoping to completely pay that off. And then obviously the rest put towards, you know, our budgeting envelopes and savings that we're trying to do. So that would be amazing. That would immediately cancel that one out. And that would be the first one. And then after we pay off that one, I want to go to the mattress. Because then it's kind of like we're always looking at stuff that's in our name. And that way we can always just kind of keep making progress on our individual credit scores, because especially now that we're married, you know, our goal in the next year or so is to get a house, which we're currently saving for. And we can't do that if we both look bad on paper. And at the end of the day, you know, I work for myself, so his score really has to be really good. And so we're really trying to build his up first. And then mine was great until COVID and all that stuff happened. And so we're building that back up. So it's progress, but that's that. That's a very fantastic update. I was hoping that by the time I shot this video, since I was already late, I was like, well, maybe I'll be paid off, but a check was late on getting to me, so I couldn't. But at least you have this update to know that it will be. And in my next month's video, I'll be excited to share that. So fingers crossed. The next one, that 7 out of 8, is our Sam's credit card. This one I have been lucky to have been kind of making additional payments on top of every single time I use the card. I have been making sure that I always have the money to pay for it. Like, it's been one of those things where, like, my mom always said, don't spend money if you don't have it, because obviously where is it coming from? And I feel like we're all guilty of doing that with like credit cards. I did do that on here, which is why it racked up. Originally I was so good, but then we had moments where like we just didn't have any money to buy things and I needed to buy food. So I was like, I'm just going to use it. And so we've been slowly getting that number back down, which has been really good. So as of right now, the balance is $802.36. This is out of a $1,500 budget. But I have a couple payments that I just did like today when this video was live of like I think it equaled like $69. So that's going to bring it back down to almost the bottom level of 700, and we'll be close to like the 600. So when I get that next check, or when Chandler gets paid, you know, whatever next, I'm going to put like maybe a decent little payment on that. Nothing crazy. I've been doing kind of like maybe $50 or $20 or $70. Like, I've just kind of been doing random little one-offs. Just to make some progress. But every time we've been able to buy something, I immediately pay it off. So we've never technically had a minimum payment, because I'm making payments literally like multiple times, like at least 1 to 2 times a week, whether it's gas or groceries, you know. So that's been nice. And it's hopefully showing my usage, which hopefully affects my score too. So we're trying. And then the last one is the wedding loan credit card through my parents that they helped us do to finish the rest of our deposit. That amount is $6,000, and it has no interest for a year. So the goal that I've set for myself, which is hard, but we've been able to already achieve the first one, is to always do a $500 payment. And that is, I mean, I did 6,000 divided by 12, and that's 500. That is a very lofty amount that I'm kind of scared that at times I'm not going to be able to do. And it's frustrating because I'm also like, I wish I could be putting that money aside towards a house, because that amount of money could really make a difference for us, but that's just kind of what we have to do right now and what we have to pay back. So I'm happy that we've been able to first make the progress. And then if I have any other moments where like I am able to pay off other things and we have additional money, we can just pay it off. So that way, like, I just want as much of this stuff paid off. Like, if we can get a lot of this stuff down and just end up with like the Capital One or like the student loan or something like that, like if that's all we have, and then we have all this money saved up for a house, that would be the most ideal situation. So fingers crossed for us. Please, I'm putting this out to the universe. Like, please let it work out like that. I would really like it, because we've been in an apartment for like almost 10 years. I'm so over it. Like, I really am. We need more space. We're kind of cramped here. I'm done. So that is our goal. So that is my financial check-in for the month of April. I hope this was helpful for you guys and kind of seeing the numbers where we're at. Seeing the progress we've made. If you've been following along this series, I started this when I started my channel in January. So this will be my 4th one. So you guys can kind of see like how we've made progress over time. I'm open and honest about my numbers every single time, just because, again, I want this to be a place where like you can go to talk about numbers and not feel intimidated or overwhelmed or anything like that. I want you to be able to be comfortable here and just chat about money with me and how we're getting ahead on our financial goals. So I hope you have a great day. Definitely check out my other videos for cash planning, cash stuffing. I have some other fun ideas I'm going to do. I'm just kind of saving up for a couple things I want to get for those. So have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.